Okay, y'all, let's look at these images I'm going to show you up on the board here. Okay, can everybody tell what that is?
Fire hydrant.
What's unusual about that fire hydrant?
It's a
Fire.
See that?
All right, I have some more photos for you. All right, can y'all see that well enough?
That's a CD.
Well, it's actually it's not music, it's a movie, so it's a DVD. Can y'all see what the name of the movie is? Raise your hand. Okay, Kate, what's the name of the movie? Unbreakable. Okay. And what do we notice about the DVD itself? Okay. What does that inscription say? Raise your hand if you want to read it. Emmanuel?
Nothing is written in the stone.
Nothing is written in stone. Okay. What type of material is this inscription in?
Stone.
Well, raise your hand. Yes, it is stone. And what do we mean when we say nothing is written in stone? People say that like about life. In life, nothing is written in stone. What might they mean by written in stone? Nobody has an idea? Tell you what, if I wanted to erase that board there and put something new, could I do it? If I wanted to erase that inscription right there, could I easily do it?
No.
No. So, when they say in life, nothing is written in stone, what might they mean? Okay, Emily? Nothing lasts forever. Okay, there you go. And maybe it means nothing is where it can't be changed, but you think maybe this is going to last forever?
Yeah.
Right? Because it is written in stone? I think I have one more. Oh, I have two more. Okay. What do we see in this picture? It's a little bit hard to tell. Can you, Luis, can you tell what that is? A pan, a frying pan. Is there anything kind of unusual about what we see in this pan? People that haven't been called on yet. Brianna, what's that say, that pan? What is that? How is that pan described by what's written on it? Okay, so it says it's a fry pan that doesn't stick. But is there anything in that picture that's maybe a little bit unusual when we consider that? You know? Yes, it's stuck to the pan. How can we tell it's stuck to the pan really good? Okay, yeah, so it's stuck in there pretty good. I think we have one more image. Oh, we have two more. All right. Does anyone, if you look closely at the truck, I think you'll see what's kind of unusual about this picture. All right, Luis, what's unusual about it?
Tires.
Okay, the truck's full of tires.
Oh.
But, JD? The truck is missing a tire. He's got a truck full of tires, but I guess no way to put it on. And here, can y'all see what the book that's on the floor, the title of it is? What does it say, Jasmine?
Dog training dummies.
Dog training for dummies. Y'all know those For Dummies books? They teach you how to do something. So, what's kind of funny about this photo? Somebody, Jade, considering the title of the book, what's funny about that photo? You don't know? Okay, Cage.
He's still didn't get like how to train himself.
Right. Obviously, if the book is all torn up on the floor, the dog has not been trained yet. Okay? So, all of these images are what we would call ironic, or they have irony in them. Can someone maybe try to figure out what is the definition of irony if all of these photos show us irony? Think about the photos we looked at and what's in them and how we see them and Can we say, if all of those photos have irony, what do they have in common? Yes, Gage.
Like just, it's like they're like the opposite, right?
That word, the opposite, yes. It's the opposite of what we
No.
see. Like, if you knew that the owner of this dog had bought a book called Dog Training, do you think that the dog would be tearing up the book?
No.
So it's the opposite of what we would expect, okay? Generally speaking, irony involves the opposite of what we expect. Getting the opposite of what we expect. Okay, so would someone volunteer to pass out? Okay, Emmanuel, you can pass these out. These are a handout that we have about irony, and there are actually 3 types of irony that we see in literature and movies. Okay, thank you. And then I have these for ESL students that will go along with that. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's about to go to PE.
Eggs.
Oh wait, I got one more. What's the Lucy? Can I get an English version?
Oh, yeah. You give everybody an English version, even the ones that have the Spanish version.
I ain't gonna do Spanish. Bro. Really, bro? I don't know.
All right, and you want to give yourself a copy too?
No, I'm just trying to follow.
Thank you.
I know you're supposed to pause at an area of the convo, but they don't.
Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and look at this handout, and it's going to tell us about the 3 types of irony. Okay, the 3 types of irony. Okay. Who would like to read the first type of irony? Okay, Jasmine.
Oh, variable irony. When someone says something that is the opposite of what they actually mean.
Okay, well, hold off on the example. All right, I want to make sure we understand it. Verbal irony is when someone says the opposite of what they actually mean. Okay, so Jasmine, can you go ahead and read us that example?
Example, you put a bucket of paint on the carpet and say, well, is it just bad or fantastic?
Okay, you spill some paint on the carpet and you go, oh, isn't that just fantastic? That's verbal irony, because why is that verbal irony? Who can explain, like, what is it about that sentence, isn't that fantastic, that makes it ironic? Because it isn't fantastic. You're saying that it's fantastic, but you mean the exact opposite. Okay, Cage, would you like to read the next example of type of irony?
No, I read the, and you expect one thing to happen.
Well, tell us, what type of irony are we talking about here?
Situational irony, when you expect one thing to happen, but the opposite happens.
Okay, so situational irony is when you expect one thing to happen and the opposite happens. Such as, you expect when someone buys a book for training dogs that they'll get their dogs trained before the dog has a chance to tear up the book. Cage, can you read the example of situational irony that's on our worksheet?
X, you have 2 tests on Wednesday in math and history. Tuesday, now you study for 2 hours for the math test, but skip studying for the history test. You receive an A on the history test and an F on the math test.
Okay, so why would that situation be ironic? Okay, Ashley?
Because he studied for the opposite test.
You studied for what?
He studied for the math test, not the history test, but got an F.
Okay, so what would you expect? You would expect the
good grade.
right. All right. Okay, who'd like to read about the third type? Okay, Stacy. Let's listen.
Dramatic irony. When the reader or the audience is aware of something the characters in the story are not aware of.
Okay, this is actually the type of irony that we will see the most of in Flowers for Algernon. Dramatic irony is when the reader or the audience, if it's a movie or a play, is aware of something, but the characters in the story are not aware of it, or maybe one of the characters in the story is not aware of it. Do you know where this type of irony is used a lot? It's used in horror movies. Who can think of a situation in a horror movie where the audience knows something, but the character in the movie or the book, the horror story of the book, doesn't know? Anybody? Okay, Cage.
Maybe like you watching it, and then like
Listen up.
the suspense like type of noise start coming. And, like they don't know that, but like you do.
Okay, so if you know where the noise is coming from, but the person in the movie doesn't, you have another example, Ashley?
Well, you know who Ghostface is, but the people don't know.
Okay. All right, Emmanuel, an example?
That one character goes into the shed where the killer is in the shed.
Okay, but the audience has to know what?
That he's in the shed.
That the killer's in the shed. So think about it when you're watching a movie. There's a killer in the shed. All right, we know as the audience are watching that there's a killer in the shed, but the person in the movie does not know that there's a killer in the shed. As that character is walking towards the shed, what's happening to us in the audience? How are we feeling as that character walks towards the shed, not knowing that someone's in there? Raise your hand if you want to offer something. It's unhappy? Oh, we're happy? Okay. That's maybe in sometimes. But what else are we feeling? Think about it. Emily, if we're watching a movie and we know that there's a killer in the shed and a character that we like, the main character maybe, is walking towards the shed, what are we feeling? Sad? What? Because do we know that she's going to get killed if she goes into the shed? We don't know. So maybe we're not just sad because maybe we're sad after she gets killed, but as suspense, yes. And what do you feel when there's suspense? You feel scared, okay? Nervous maybe, okay? So if she knows there's somebody in the shed that wants to murder her, well then she can prepare for it and there's not as much suspense and we don't get as nervous about it. But when we know that someone's in the shed, but she doesn't, that creates more of a feeling of nervousness. Okay. All right, so today we're going to look at how irony affects the way we understand Charlie Gordon in Flowers for Algernon and how it lends itself to the development of the story, having that irony that's in the story, okay? So today you're going to need your copy of Flowers for Algernon and the 2 handouts that were passed out. And we already got into our partners. So make sure you have your copy of Flowers for Algernon available to you.
It was right there.
They had no money.
They didn't have no binder in. I didn't write it. Like, where's Angie's computer?
3 copies there.
Oh, she took that.
No, she didn't. She left it right there.
Hey, wait. Hey, somebody machine away.
The paper I'm handing you now is an irony tracker where we'll track the irony that occurs in the story. You getting your copy of the story? Yes.
I put my binder right there, and then they all sat down and said, "You know what's my binder?"
Does somebody have her binder by mistake?
No, y'all probably hiding it.
You sure you didn't take it with you?
They're probably hiding it somewhere.
What color is your binder?
White.
White. Victor, that's your binder? Sure it's not in the bag? Okay. Got it over there. You need a copy of the story?
Hey, wait, can I stop you? No way, entonces. ¿Ella, güey? Hermano. Hey, wait, can I stop you?
Does everybody have their copy of the story? Everybody has it?
No.
What's my find out if you want to my binder? Oh, you want to call because I originally don't catch it.
Why you put over there, bro?
Okay. So again, what we're doing today, we've all just learned what irony is. Okay? We're going to look at, Jasmine, we're going to look for irony in Flowers for Algernon, and we're going to see how does that affect the story? How does it affect our understanding of Charlie Gordon? Okay? All right, so what we're going to be reading is the March 23rd through 25th section of Progress Report 8. This is something that you've already read, but when we first read it, we didn't look for irony. Now we're going to be looking for irony. Okay? So, March 23rd through 25th of Progress Report 8.
Which way is up there? No, it has to go.
So, you need a copy? So now that we know what irony is, now that we know what the three types of irony are, as you're rereading this section of the story, start looking for irony. Start looking for examples of irony. You might want to remember you all can annotate these copies. You can write on these copies. So you might want to even underline it. Okay. Okay. So is everybody with me at Progress Report 8, March 23rd to the 25th? The story. I'll give you another one. Yes, that's it. There's different look. Some of the copies look different than other ones. But it's the same story. Amen. Okay. So while I'm reading, you're going to follow along. Luis, what's in your laptop? Why is your laptop open? You close it. Follow along, and remember, we're looking for examples of irony, where we get the opposite of what we expect, or when we know something that a character in the story does not know. When we know something that a character in the story does not know. Okay, progress report 8, March 23rd. Everybody's there. Progress report 8, March 23rd. So this is, remember, this takes place after the surgery. Everybody's there? Okay. Progress report 8, March 23rd. I'm going back to work at the factory. They said it was better I should go back to work. But I can't tell anyone what the operation was for. And I have to come to the hospital for an hour every night after work. They are going to pay me money every month for learning to be smart. I'm glad I'm going back to work because I miss my job and all my friends and all the fun we have there. Dr. Strauss says I should keep writing things down, but I don't have to do it every day. Just when I think of something or something special happens. He says, don't get discouraged because it takes time and it happens slow. He says it took a long time with Algernon before he got 3 times smarter than he was before. That's why Algernon beats me all the time, because he had that operation too. That makes me feel better. I could probably do that amazed faster than a regular mouse. Maybe someday I'll beat Algernon. Boy, that would be something. So far, Algernon looks like he might be smart permanent. 25th. I don't have to write progress report on top anymore, just when I hand it in once a week for Dr. Niemer to read. I just have to put the date on. That saves time. We had a lot of fun at the factory today. Joe Clark said, hey, look, Charlie had his operation. What did they do, Charlie? Put some brains in? I was going to tell him, but I remembered. Dr. Strauss said no. Then Frank Wiley said, what did you do, Charlie? Forget your key and open your door the hard way? That made me laugh. They're really my friends, and they like me. Sometimes somebody will say, hey, look at Joe or Frank or George. He really pulled a Charlie Gordon. I don't know why they say that, but they always laugh. This morning, Amos Borg, who is the foreman at Donegan's, used my name when he shouted at Ernie, the office boy. Ernie lost a package. He said, Ernie, what are you trying to be, a Charlie Gordon? I don't understand why he said that. I never lost any packages. Okay, now what I would like y'all to do is, the partner who's seated to the right, take about 30 or 45 seconds to tell the partner who's seated to the left what happened in the story just now. The partner, whatever, in your partnerships, whichever partner's on this side of the room, okay, tell what happened. Y'all can work it out amongst yourselves. Tell what happened in that section to your partner, okay? Just basically summarize to your partner, just 30 or 45 seconds. It doesn't matter, listen close, it doesn't matter who goes first because the other partner's gonna do it too, okay? Tell your partner what happened.
Para dibujar pitas en el papel. Es lo único que entendí.
No es que dicen palabras,
Oh, when,
Okay. Now, okay, now, the other partner, go ahead and tell your partner what you remember of what happened in the story. And if you think they missed any details, make sure you say, hey, well, you forgot to mention this part, or if there's something you found interesting, you know, mention that to your partner.
¿Qué tiene?
Okay. So, now that we've all reread that section and had a little chance to discuss it with our partner, who can tell me, was there any certain way that reading this made you feel as you hear Charlie talking about his return to work? Is there a certain way that it made you feel? Okay, Cage? No? Okay, Yandel?
I guess he's happy able to get back to the job he loves.
Okay, he's able to get back to the job he loves, so you're happy, but...
What I don't like is that he's afraid
Okay.
to be fired. You're always
Okay, so if y'all couldn't hear what Yandel said he's happy for Charlie that he's back at work, and that Charlie is happy to be back at work, but that Charlie doesn't understand that his friends are making fun of him. Charlie doesn't understand that his friends are making fun of him. Okay? So we understand that Charlie's being made fun of, but Charlie doesn't understand. Y'all know how they say, I think y'all use this term about different types of music or something. I hear young people say, it just hits different. Y'all heard that? Okay. When the author tells a story and they use irony, where they let you know something that the character doesn't know, it just hits different. When you are watching a movie and you can see that there's a killer in the shed, but the person going in the shed doesn't know, it just hits different. It feels different, okay? Just think if it was just Miss Kinnian, National, just think if it was just Miss Kinnian telling the story, and she was saying that Charlie gets made fun of at work. Is that the same feeling you get as compared to this, where Charlie is telling us that these things happen at work, but he doesn't say, I get made fun of at work, because he doesn't realize he's getting made fun of at work. So do y'all notice that that's a little bit of a different feeling when you feel like, ooh, Charlie doesn't know. Charlie's talking about this as if he's happy about it, but he doesn't even realize that people are making fun of him. Okay? All right. So now we're going to look at our irony worksheet, the tracking sheet. That's this one here. And I'm gonna read out loud as we review the 3 types of irony. It's gonna review the 3 types of irony, Anthony, at the top of your tracking sheet, okay? Okay, irony tracker for Flowers for Algernon. Let's follow along. Authors use irony to produce certain effects and develop meaning for the reader. There are 3 types of irony: verbal, situational, and dramatic. Each type of irony produces different effects on the reader, from surprise to humor, and impacts the way a reader understands the events and the characters in a story. So we'll go over those 3 types of irony again. Verbal irony, when what is said is different from or the opposite of what is meant. Okay, when a person says the opposite of what they really mean. Second type is situational irony, when the opposite of what is expected happens. You expect one thing to happen and something completely different happens. And then dramatic irony, which is the type that we're going to see the most of in Flowers for Algernon. Dramatic irony is when the readers know something a character or characters do not know. Okay? All right. So let's take one line of Progress Report 8 that we just read, and let's focus on that line and see if we can identify the irony there. Okay? So, if you look at March 25th, everybody go to the March 25th. March 25th. And look for the sentence that says at the end of the second paragraph, they're really my friends and they like me. They're really my friends and they like me. Go ahead and on your tracker sheet, write down that sentence and then tell what type of irony is that. Okay? What type of irony is that? And then you're also going to put, how is it ironic? What's ironic about Charlie saying this? And then what effect does it have on you when you read it? And then the last part of it is, how does it help you understand the text? How does it help you understand the story? Was everybody able to find the line that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Where Charlie says, they're really my friends? It's on March 25th. They really my friends and they like me. Go ahead and fill out your irony tracker for that particular phrase. That particular sentence. They're really my friends and they like me.
Say right here, then we don't have to. Yeah, it's this one. It's the three. type of irony?
So of course, the first thing you're gonna do is write down that sentence in the first column, right?
Yes.
Everybody should be writing that sentence in the first column. Then identify what type of irony it is. And then you got 2 more columns to go. What is the effect like? What is the effect that it has on you as the reader for the author to write that scene that way, to where you know something but Charlie doesn't know it? How does that make you feel as the scene's going on? When you hear Charlie saying those words? Yes. Mm-hmm.
When someone says something that that's the first one.
Ashley, can pair up with Angie now? I'll come in. Once y'all get situated. I'll come in.
¿Es el verbo?
De esto, ¿de cuál de estas tres?
It's the first.
So I think that's como.
You left the computer here, right? You left it right there, right? Exactly my point. Y'all took all of our stuff.
Look, right. Isn't this right here?
Does telling the story that way make you understand Charlie better and understand how the story is better? What's up? What's up, Angie?
They took all of our stuff.
We don't know what happened. We never said nothing. Mark the picture.
It's not over here. It's not here.
Isn't that your right director?
Ahí está, güey.
She's doing too much.
Then why is it there? Y'all could have said that.
All right, come on.
Wait, did y'all?
It is locked down.
Hey, wait, can I do something?
I'll show you these 2 down here. Okay, yeah. I might have. When we did that. Okay, about another minute to go ahead and finish this up. It's ironic to hear.
Yes, it is.
Is what Charlie's saying true?
Because he doesn't actually know.
That's what makes it ironic, is that he's saying something that's not true, but does he know it's not true? No, so that's what makes it ironic, that Charlie is saying something that he thinks is true, and the story, no, it's not true.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and review this first example. Let's go ahead and review this first example.
Oh, man.
Stay to your group. Stay with your group. Stop. Don't talk to them. Okay, come on, stay. Oh, we'll talk about that. Okay, so who'll go ahead and volunteer to go ahead and reread that sentence out loud for me? First, that sentence that we're doing. What is it?
They're really my friends and they like me.
They're really my friends and they like me. Okay, that's the sentence. What type of irony is that? Tyler?
Dramatic.
Dramatic irony. Okay, it is dramatic irony. How is it ironic? What is ironic about Charlie saying that sentence? Okay, Cage?
I said it's ironic because they really aren't his friends.
Okay, it's ironic because they aren't actually his friends. They don't like him. They're mean to him. Right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay? That's what's ironic about it. Now, what makes it specifically dramatic irony? Yes, it's ironic because it's not true what he's saying, but what makes it dramatic irony?
Because he doesn't know they're not really his friends, but they're reading.
Yes, very good, Jade. So Charlie doesn't know that they're not his friends, but the reader does know. That's what makes it dramatic irony, Anthony. Okay, then the next column. What is the effect? What is the effect of having that presented with Charlie not knowing? When you first just read Charlie saying that, how does it immediately strike you? Charlie saying, oh, they're my friends, they like me. How do you feel about that, Luis? When Charlie says, they're my friends, they like me, how does that affect you when you're reading it? They're lying to him, but how do you feel about that? Do you think it's good, bad? Does it make you feel...
Good.
You think it's good?
Wait, if they say what?
When Charlie says, they're my friends, they like me. When you, it makes you feel bad. Okay. Why?
They never use. He don't know.
Right.
He don't know that they not.
Right. Go ahead. You're on the right track.
He don't know they not his friends.
He doesn't know that they're not his friends. And then, how does this affect you? Listen, think about this part. This is the hardest part. Hardest part to really come up with a good answer. How does it affect you to watch Charlie go through that? How does it make you feel towards Charlie when you hear him saying that? Okay, Jade? Sympathetic. Y'all know what it means to be sympathetic towards someone, to have sympathy for them? It means that you feel bad for them, okay? And don't you think if you're reading a story and you can feel bad for one of the characters, it makes you more interested because now your feelings are involved, right, Brianna? When you feel bad for someone in a story, doesn't it get your feelings a little bit more involved because now you care about them. You feel bad for them. They're going through a bad thing. It makes you maybe care about them more and pay attention more and be interested. Well, what's going to happen next? Are they always going to make fun of Charlie? Is he always not going to know that they're making fun of him? Okay. All right, so let's read Progress Report 9 now. I think now that y'all have a little bit of better idea of what irony is, as we read Progress Report 9, you'll maybe have a better idea and you can underline, you'll recognize irony more. And you want to underline those examples again because you will continue to fill out your irony track. Okay, Progress Report 9, April 3rd. Let's follow along. Dr. Strauss showed me how to keep the TV turned low. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we do skip to there. So just a reminder, we already read this, where Charlie has a TV in his room. That's not really a TV. It just plays information while he sleeps. And he absorbs that information while he sleeps. Why is he able to absorb this information now while he sleeps? Can any of y'all absorb information while you sleep? And no. Why is Charlie able to absorb information from this TV while he sleeps? Okay. Through his subconscious, but a month earlier, could he have absorbed it? What's that? Because he had an operation. The operation has allowed his subconscious to absorb information while he sleeps. Okay, so Dr. Strauss showed me how to keep the TV turned low, so now I can sleep. I don't hear a thing, and I still don't understand what it says. A few times I play it over in the morning to find out what I learned when I was sleeping, and I don't think so. Miss Kinnian says maybe it's another language or something, but most time it sounds American. It talks so fast, faster than even Miss Gold. who was my teacher in 6th grade. And I remember she talked so fast, I couldn't understand her. I told Dr. Strauss, what good is it to get smart in my sleep? I want to be smart when I'm awake. He says it's the same thing, and I have two minds. There's the subconscious and the conscious. That's how you spell it. And one don't tell the other one what it's doing. They don't even talk to each other. That's why I dream. I've been having crazy dreams. Wow, ever since that night, TV, the late show. I forgot to ask him if it was only me or if everybody has two minds. I looked up the word in the dictionary Dr. Strauss gave me. The word is subconscious, adjective, of the nature of mental operations yet not present in consciousness, as subconscious conflict of desires. There's more, but I still don't know what it means. This isn't a very good dictionary for dumb people like me. Anyway, the headache is from the party. My friends from the factory, Joe Karp and Frank Riley, invited me to go with them to Muggsy's Saloon for some drinks. I don't like to drink, but they said we would have lots of fun. I had a good time. Joe Karp said I should show the girls how I mop out the toilet in the factory, and he got me a mop. I showed and everyone laughed when I told them Mr. Donegan said I was the best janitor he ever had because I like my job and I do it good and never come late or miss a day except for my operation. I said, Miss Kinnian always said, Charlie, be proud of your job because you do it good. Okay, let's find one more example now in what we just read of dramatic irony. And then write it on your tracker. This one you're doing alone. Write this on your tracker. Find one more example of dramatic irony where, what is dramatic irony? Who wants to tell the rest of the class? Yandel.
Dramatic irony is the mirror of the audience.
Okay, so the reader knows what's going on, but someone in the story does not know what's going on. Find an example in what we just read of something that we know is going on, but somebody in the story does not know what's going on. And then fill out your tracker. You have about 5 minutes and then there'll be time to go to PE. And then you'll have about 10 minutes when we get back from PE to finish, and I'll give you your homework assignment. So this is your exit ticket. Putting another example of dramatic irony on your tracker. Y'all hand these in when we get back from PE. So you're looking for just one example, a sentence that sums it up, shows an example of dramatic irony. Something where somebody knows So the reader knows something that somebody in the store. And you have a question too, Emmanuel? Okay. Well, that's in the section we're looking at now. That's not the section we're looking at right now. Okay, we're 9. Okay, so if you look when he goes to the party, that's going to have some examples of where we know something, but Charlie doesn't know it. Yeah, when he says I'm the best janitor, what does he know that we know? What do we know that he doesn't know about being a janitor? Good.
Man, that is not for you, so come on now.
So that's why it's ironic. He doesn't know that.
You know,
Because we know that, but Charlie doesn't.
Yes, Emmanuel. Okay.
Okay, so you're looking at progress report 9, right?
Are you?
Okay, so what we're looking for is dramatic irony, and what is dramatic irony? It's when
Look for it. There's a something
something that you know
No!
is part of
She doesn't do it. What's up with you?
yes, and what specifically is it bragging about being a janitor? Most people brag about being a janitor because most people know that being a janitor is not right. But what does Charlie think? Right. Okay, guys, it's time for us to go to PE.
We'll have a few minutes to finish it when we come back.